The Primal Video YouTube channel just passed 1 million subscribers, so as a massive thank you to celebrate for all of you amazing people that liked, subscribed, commented, even the negative ones. No, I'm not Chris Martin or Mark Zuckerberg. So we thought, what better way than to share all the biggest mistakes, all the mess ups that we made along the way, so that you can laugh and hopefully learn at our expense. Hey, it's Justin Brown here from Primal Video, where we help you grow an audience and scale your... Okay, there's someone else I need to introduce here. This is my brother Mike, who is joining us live from Singapore.
Hi everyone. It only took 1 million subscribers to get me back on the channel. Mum will be so proud.
So, 1 million subscribers, we're gonna jump in and share our biggest mistakes and the lessons that we learned. Okay, mistake number 1. For your very first video, it is almost obligatory that you don't blink in front of the camera. I mean, look at this video.
Cue video.
Hi guys, Justin Brown here. Is your video editing taking too long? Well, here's a shortcut that'll help you cut your editing time in half, no matter which software you're using.
I remember just thinking I absolutely nailed it when I finished this one. The energy was really flat and yeah, didn't blink once.
Sometimes I like to just play that video back late at night, have staring competitions with this guy.
I bet you didn't win. But in all seriousness, yeah, we had to start somewhere. And this was one of the first videos on the channel. And my background before that was really in behind the camera roles as a director, as a producer. So it was pushing my comfort zones to get in front of the camera. But yeah, I remember thinking that I'd nailed it, but yeah, it's very flat and no blinking. So it was a totally different type of content for me. We definitely cut a lot of corners that I would never have cut on a client job. I mean, even the colors, look at the flickering on the computer screens there, and all the other issues that are wrong with this video. So while it's easy to look back now and laugh,
yeah, I never stopped.
What we learned an absolute ton about making content fast from these first videos and constantly adapting our process, which has now helped us create videos, 4 to 6 videos in the time that it took us to create these, which back then was almost a week per video. And hopefully you'll agree that the new ones are just a little bit better.
Yeah, there's just only so much you can do with that face.
Hey, I'll tell Mum.
Not again.
But the key is to take action and to keep pushing ahead, no matter how uncomfortable you feel. You will get better much faster than you think, even for people like me that started looking like a deer in headlights. Mistake number 2 is to only make stuff that you want to make. So here's a video I made about video editing shortcuts. I even thought I'd get fancy and go down to the beach to shoot this one. I love editing shortcuts. They can save you a ton of time. What's not to like?
Hi guys, Justin Brown here. If you're new to video editing, there's a couple of quick keyboard shortcuts that are gonna make your life a bit easier, no matter which video editing software you're using.
Well, turns out no one liked it. 6 years on, this video has got 2.6 thousand views. Now, this is something that took us a lot longer than I'd like to admit to figure this one out. You need to create content that people actually want, not stuff that you think they want. So this is a clear example of us creating content that we thought people wanted, because I wanted it. Fortunately though, you can easily see what people want before you even think about pushing ahead with a video idea. Let the people judge whether your video is great, or another one of my shortcut videos that tanked. Instead, you can start out using the YouTube search bar for a list of popular searches that are the exact language that people are using. This will give you a ton of insight into what they're actually looking for and what they actually want in your videos.
Yeah, and the data doesn't lie. And sometimes the videos that YouTube is saying you should be creating are the ones that you don't want to do, right, Justin?
Yeah, I think I've pushed back against a lot of our top videos. Adobe Premiere versus Final Cut. How to film videos on iPhone and Android. I'm like, I'm just gonna get grilled in the comments if I make these videos. So I pushed back about those for a long time. But with the keyword research and the topic research, knowing people actually wanted that stuff, we pushed through. We made those videos, and some of them became some of the biggest videos on our channel. Mistake number 3, thumbnails are a total afterthought. The video is what matters. This is a good one because this is something that we didn't pay any attention to early on. Check out these bad boys. These are some of the original thumbnails that I personally created with all my amazing graphic design skills.
What did you do that in Microsoft Paint?
Actually, I did it in Photoshop using my amazing Photoshop skills that are non-existent. But these thumbnails probably only took me about 10 minutes to put together. 9 minutes of that was me trying to find that perfect frame grab or freeze frame, where you're kind of not talking, half smiling, but having that as an afterthought and not doing that while you're actually filming or posing for shots. It's an absolute nightmare. I know that a lot of you might be doing the same thing with your thumbnails.
So let's just take a set. Like if you zoom in there, you can actually see of all of the videos there, 50K was the top number of views until we got to those two, the filming with iPhone and Android. I think that was the point, Justin, where we put your design prowess to bed and brought in the big guns. In Keynote, I designed those ones.
Yeah, it was literally with those videos, we released them, they got a little bit of traffic, and then they disappeared into the YouTube abyss until we went back and put Mike's fancy thumbnails on, tweaked the title, adjusted the description and the tags, and it really set those videos off to again become some of the biggest ones on our channel.
But you can see just chalk and cheese, the amount of views we got from that. I think we can bring up a chart that actually shows what the impact of swapping out those thumbnails and readjusting the titles and the keywords that we used for those videos had on the end result. And those videos are still generating views today.
So your thumbnails are super important. You really got to focus on getting that click and grabbing people's attention in the feed. You need to communicate what your video is about at a glance. So even if people are viewing on a smaller device, a mobile device, that they click yours, they can understand what the video is about. And then if you don't get clicked more than others do, when YouTube is showing your video, YouTube is more likely to recommend other videos over yours next time someone is looking for something like that. Thumbnails time. So you want to make sure that you are taking deliberate images or photos to use in your thumbnail images. For me, at the end of filming, I'm literally just pulling silly faces and pointing and smiling. I feel like an idiot doing it, but it helps us get the click, which means people are actually...
You look like an idiot.
Thanks. This means people are actually going to see the video. You got to do what it takes. You can either invest in a professional design template or you can make one yourself. But for those of you that are more advanced, TubeBuddy, which is an amazing YouTube plugin, has some amazing A/B testing capabilities that we've been using a lot this past year, and it's made a massive difference to our thumbnails and our click-through rate. Mistake number 4, don't prepare. It feels easier just to start shooting. This is a big mistake that I made for so long. I just thought as the topic expert or knowing what I wanted to share with people that I could just press record, get in front of the camera and just produce an amazing video without any prep. But when it came time to actually reviewing our videos before we released them, Mike was always pulling them to shreds because we didn't have a video structure. It was going to be too hard for people to follow along with what my squirrel brain is actually saying in these videos. So what we needed was, or what I needed was, a decent video structure. And if I didn't plan out the key points before getting in front of the camera, the content was going to be all over the place. So you really want to get a solid video structure in place and take the time to plan your videos before you shoot them. This is actually going to save you a ton of time in front of the camera as well, and it creates much more viewer-friendly experience for those who end up watching your content because you can get to all the key points in a logical order rather than just trying to remember something and then trying to shoehorn it back in later. Now, I used to be a very anti-process and very anti-structure person, but then I realized that it's actually the structure that not only increased our results dramatically, but also reduced my time in front of the camera and all the shooting mistakes. More structure and more process meant more freedom. It's ironic, but it's true. It just took way too long for that to click for me. Sorry, Mike.
Damage is done.
On to number 5. This one's not really a mistake. It's actually one of the things that we got right, but I need to cover it. Focus on making what you do sustainable and long-term. So that means unless YouTube is a hobby for you, you want to focus on building a business, not being a YouTuber, that there's a high risk that you're going to end up on that content hamster wheel, creating a video each week with only a subscriber count to show for it. There's a lot of amazing people in the YouTube community. I've unfortunately seen too many of them burn out along the way with so much still to offer the world. But it doesn't have to be this way. So we're going to share some of the key learnings that we've had that have made a huge difference for us. Start out producing just 1 video a week. Ignore anyone that tells you you need to be doing 3 or 4 uploads or daily content. Build out a production process and streamline it as much as possible before you even think about creating more videos than that. What's much more important is that you're optimizing the videos that you are creating. You also want to focus on building an email list so that you can communicate with your most loyal subscribers on a platform that you control.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with Facebook, YouTube, or any of those platforms. So you really want to build your business on a platform that you control and that you own so that if there's another TikTok or something that pops up, you can move your audience over to those platforms without being beholden to something that's not really serving you anymore. But building that email list early on has also really enabled us to grow a full business outside of YouTube without relying on one platform. So it's really enabled all of our other income streams to accelerate much faster. And on that note too, so while we were building the email list, we also focused on implementing new income streams and building the structures for those income streams in very early on, along with the email list. Now, even though we were trickling in at like 10 cents a month from Amazon affiliates and other programs, those are the things that once you start seeing those dollars start to roll in, you just know that they're going to scale as your reach expands and as your audience grows as well. And it just it grows exponentially from there. I
remember we jumped on a call. You're like, Justin, do you know where this $1.20 came from in the bank account? And this the inner accountant coming out. I'm like, does it matter? It's money in the bank account. It's come from somewhere. Maybe one of these affiliate programs. I remember you trying to like track it down. Where's it from? So this is the power, that it starts small, but it can easily grow over time. Yeah. So we've done things like affiliate marketing, digital products. We were even selling templates at one stage. But obviously you can jump in and start with things like one-on-one consulting and coaching as well. But essentially you want to make sure that all the relationships that you're building across the entire platform, including with sponsors, brands, and companies and things, that it's a win for your viewers. First and foremost, it's a win for the companies that you're working with, which then makes it a win for you as well. Now, I know a lot of this stuff might seem overwhelming, but I want you to remember that YouTube is an amazing community of creators. We've made some awesome friends along the way, people that we can now message and help and collaborate with. And that's why I love working with our members in our accelerator program. We get to pass on these lessons so they don't make the same mistakes that we did. Now, with all of that said, all of this is much easier if you enjoy the topic you're talking about. It's something you enjoy researching, sharing, helping people with. It's going to be much easier on the days that you're feeling overwhelmed or not motivated. And it's much easier to get back up faster and keep having the impact that you want to have. So those are our top mistakes or top lessons that we've learned to 1 million subscribers. And Mike, it's time for you to get back in your cage.
Yeah, whatever. I'm still Mum's favorite. But thanks, everyone.
I didn't need a wave, but I did. Now, we mentioned a few times in this video about topic research and keyword research and how important it is. So I've got a link for you on screen sharing our keyword research process, along with the top tools that we use and that we recommend to make it all super easy. You can grab your copy now with a link on screen, and I'll see you in the next video.